Here we have the double rainbow set up the standard way. So you got 6 pegs down there, and again I'll show you the position of the peg, and well, actually this one should be there. Okay, see this line here, you continue that and you have it there. Now when you set it up, try to have the tie out fully out, so then you can pull it in if you need to when the seal nylon relaxes. Okay, so and that's the long side. Again, it's more or less fully out. I've got a little bit here so then I can pull it, but try to have it out. Now when you go on the bush, not in my backyard, you should always carry some spare pegs, and I'll show you why. Now this is there's a small collection of pegs. I've got more, but anyway. Now those ones are totally useless, avoid them, they're rubbish. This is a titanium nail peg, very good in rocky ground where you may have very little space in between rocks and pebbles and so on, but they're very strong. This also has good holding power, is the white peg. Some come with very sharp ends. This is rounded, as you can see. It was a request, so that's quite nice, and you can pull it out with that pull rope. It's a good all-arounder. This one's it's the sort of a small, thin, very light side pegs I would use on areas like here, for example, if I just want to keep part of the door open. So on non-crucial area, non-load bearing areas, just use that just to keep the fly out or whatever. So they don't have a huge amount of holding power, but they're very handy in difficult soil. That's just a longer version of the other one. Works better. There's a huge difference in holding power from just that to that. Okay, you're gaining quite substantially. This is the standard Easton 6-inch. They work well in good soil, in a reasonable condition. They work well. The 8-inch version works much better, and now some of the shelters are shipped with this titanium V-peg. Now the V-peg, I've used them in the past in aluminium, and they were not that good. I could bend them very easily. I can't bend this one very easily at all. I could actually bend the other one just like that with my hand. You can't do that one with this TI peg, so this is quite good in holding power. This on soft ground, I've done some tests in this in reality, and not in my backyard, and the holding power of that was very much in between this and that. Okay, so it could be a good all-arounder, but I still, what I carry with me is some couple of spare of the long ones, 8-inch, usually 2 of these Y pegs, this one's here, that's why they call Y, the shape, and a couple of these ones. Sometime, depending on the shelter, I might have 4. Some shelter need a few more pegs, but they're not crucial. Okay, with spare pegs, always carry a couple of spare guylines, depending on the tentage you have, but say a couple of spare guylines made up, and some rope. That's always very useful. Now I'll show you why you should carry this spare guideline. Now in reasonable weather, that's fine as it is there. You got 6 packing points, as I say, but of course if you get strong wind, ideally you'll place the pole into the wind, and you will have the side that opens. So here my door side, this remain closed, and get rid of the rain curtain in a minute. That is the part I open while I'll have the wind. This will be my lee side, and that's the windward side. Okay, so you've got a bit more protection if you want to go out. because so that's again is fine most times. But if you notice, you have a guy line attachment there. This is not cosmetic, it's a guy line attachment, and there is a grommet under here. Don't know if I can show you. Let's go inside. There you are, that grommet there. Now that is to add poles, so I'll set that up. Okay, before I do that, just to show you, if I use a trapeze line or something of this sort of thickness consistency, I then just use a slip knot. If you know how to make that one, well, you should. It's useful, it works. On thinner lines like this is Dyneema or Spectra, sometimes it's called. It's thinner and it's a bit slippery, so it's very, very strong, but it's hard to work with knots. So I just use one of those knot holders, whatever they call the cam cleats. Anyway, I'll set it up. The other end of that is just a loop like this, and I use that so that I can attach it and detach it easily from wherever I want to. The size of the well, they all tend to really symmetrical, so both sides are exactly the same. So I show you one side, but you'll do the other side exactly the same if you need to or want to, or whatever. So that's a pole inserted into the grommet. The pole tip is inserted into the grommet here at the top, as I showed before. So do make sure that it sits in there, otherwise you'll make a hole into the fabric, obviously. You can also use the pole top, the handle, up if it's easier for you. Then you just connect the guy line to the pole. So in my case is around a little basket. You can secure it if you like, don't need to. And then you connect the guy line to the same peg as you connect the door. Here is an easy trick to remember. When setting up a guy line, remember this number 45. 45 is the angle. So set the guy line to the attachment point at roughly 45 degrees. See there? That's about 45 degrees there from the attachment point. The peg or stake also goes in at about 45 degrees to the ground. So if you look at these 2 points, you have a 90-degree gap. So this is a right angle. Okay, so remember that. So the peg is facing away at about 45 degrees. The line comes down at about 45 degrees, and that you get your 90 degrees there. Naturally, you should have the peg fully inserted, and it's easy for me to do in this gun because it's mainly sand. Just to finish, a quick look at the double rainbow fully open. Just to give you this gives you an idea of the tarp mode. So really it's just like a tarp at the top with a mesh insert. So you'll have good views inside there, plenty of ventilation, still good protection, and well, if it starts raining, it's only going to take you a minute to close it down. Hope you enjoy that.